stretching your body or keeping your physics flexible and healthy, it is much more than that. It is not only that, it's much more than that. That is why I thought of addressing that how yoga is useful to the present situation of scenario of COVID-19 pandemics, and how yoga can increase or help benefit us in a scientific way. I'm not telling this is somebody promoted it or Modi ji promoting it or the people are making propaganda, not like that. Science, yoga itself is a science as well as art, which is actually having a lot of research work produced and proved that it is useful to the present situation. So I'm that from that point of view I'll address. As we all know that yoga is nothing but union. You might have been seeing the symbol of International Day of Yoga. How it is one person sitting in a meditative pose and their aura behind him with his few leaves around. The symbol says a very beautiful meaning. The brown leaves of the symbol represent the earth, the mother earth. Green leaves represent the mother nature. Yellow for the fire, blue for the water, and the orange aura is further representing the sun, the enormous, tremendous, unlimited energy coming to the earth. Totally, collectively meaning the union with the nature. So, yoga is such a science or knowledge or a tool which will establish a union with the nature. See, what is the important? We call it as Atma Paramatma Sanyogo Yoga. Means in individual consciousness becoming one with the universal consciousness is yoga. Since you are from this belt of South Kendra or Udupi, people will be knowing about it because our basic culture teach yoga from very young age. I'm not going to that aspect of it. So, which you are already aware of it. So the meaning says you should be one with the nature. What it means? Whenever we move away from our nature, for example, when nature can take you, whoever aligned to the nature, nature takes her along with that. Whoever not aligned to her, she'll try to throw them away. This is the basic feature of the nature, or basic characteristic of the nature or ecosystem. So human being, when they show a natural life, very healthy life, if they eat whatever grows around them and limiting to them their life in which can go in harmony with nature, they will live a healthy life. They will live a healthy, energetic life. When it other way around, when you are manipulating your body with the random food, the processed food which does not contain prana in it, at that time, body will start moving away from this nature. The significance is we develop diseases and disorders. So, whenever we are moving away from nature, we develop disease and disorder. When we come close to the nature, we establish health, more life energy, and we live in more potential way than as we were earlier. So this is here in this scenario, yoga is such a science, such a bundle of knowledge, which will help you to connect with the nature, with your nature and the nature of the surrounding. Now, in this situation, we know that from the last 3 months, we are experiencing lockdown. All TV channels, newspapers, your friends' discussion may be majorly on this aspect. And the disease which is invaded is also not that easy. It is very fast spreading. So it is very fast spreading. Hope I'm audible. Okay. Very quickly spreading within the person is weak, within no time this is dominate over him, and it is ending up with the collapse or demise of the person. So in this situation, how yoga is helpful? First of all, we need to understand the moment COVID-19 started spreading, huge amount of negative thoughts. People are afraid, anxiety, if they come in contact with the infected person, they are feeling a kind of anxiety, negative energy. The people who are left, their family member is suffering. By listening to that, you are suffering. Your school schedules or college schedules are disturbed, work schedules are disturbed, your future concern and financial job related concern. These are all bringing a huge amount of negative energy. In the cosmic, when negative is so much dominating, tamas is dominating, we have to dominate with the sattva or positive, what you call positive energy. It's very important to dominate this with the positive energy, where yoga is helpful. I'll start from the body level benefit, the physical level benefit of yoga. Okay. So we know that the present enemy is corona or coronavirus. When any virus or bacteria or toxin invade our body, the first what happens, our defense system of the body, like how our borders are set, guarded by our soldiers, how our defense system is working. Same way, we have a defense system which is called as immune system. In science, we call it as immune system. This immune system will start reacting on this. The entry portal of this major enemy is our digestive tract and respiratory tract. So in this area now, the immune system will start reacting. The first level defense is our tonsils, sinus. All antioxidants are secreted by sinus, and the discharges will come: phlegm, cough, fever, all the symptoms. So whenever the symptom is visible, that means your body is fighting against the disease. No need to worry. Our body is potential. Our virus is hardly 1 micron in size, whereas our WBC or white blood cells, or what you call it as immune cells, they are all 50 micron in size. Such a big cells can suppress them, but provided with, why not? Why it is not happening? So we know that whenever the infection happens, body undergoes a kind of stress. That stress is called as physical stress or physiological stress. It's not a disease. From your usual work, you have an extra work. For example, you are working normally. One day college day is approaching. Then you have additional work, stress on your physics, stress on your mind. You have to prepare for something. So unusually, when the body is working, not on the usual schedule, that's a natural way to cope up with stress. When body undergoes stress, and you have to cooperate it by taking rest, not straining your body, not making it to get tired. Cooperate that immune system to work. So what we do? Somebody switched on their audio. Please mute your audio. Okay. So what happens here? When body is undergoing the stress, the mind is also, for example, somebody tested COVID-19 positive. Immediately tension increases, anxiety increases. He will start thinking rigorously whether what will happen, whether I'll come back, whether I'll get infection, I'll die. Everybody loves their life so much that you'll get anxiety. The moment you are into anxiety, your body stress increases 10 times more. First of all, one level stress due to immune system is fighting against corona. Now you increase your stress by your anxiety. When anxiety is increased, nervous system is charged, you're emotionally charged, the body have to bring back the balance, your heart rate, your BP, everything. Then body can't cooperate the immune system as it used to cooperate earlier. So this is the problem. Anxiety is the enemy of your immunity. Same goes with the old age people. When people are old, they are diagnosed with some other diseases or disorders, like it may be diabetic or kidney or asthmatic conditions. These people, body is already stressed due to their fighting against the disease. Now what happens? You are giving more pressure on that. That is how the immune system fails, and then corona can enter more deeper and infect our system or lungs. Another prone condition is we are all not breathing comfortably. Our stress in the mind, anxiety, emotional, whatever your depressions, they're already making you shallow breathing, like you're breathing very light. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible, ma'am.
If I'm not disconnected, please call the numbers and I'll join back.
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
wait.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So what happens here now? Your breathing is very shallow. You're using only upper part of your lung. If you observe normally now what you're sitting and listening, you're breathing very shallowly, right? Means your chest moves up and down, or your shoulders are moving up and down, or your backbone is moving up and down. That means your breathing is very shallow. You are not taking deep breath. When we have shallow breathing, oxygen coming to the body is less. The absorption of the alveoli, the oxygen is less surface area is provided, and blood will not function comfortably. more amount of oxygen, good amount of right nutrition will make the blood very potential, where the WBCs are not blood, right? So they'll be running in the blood and serving this. So when our system is weaker, we are more prone to this particular disease. Now I'll start with how yoga will interfere here. So in yoga, whenever the month of March, that Indian Yoga Association, the major gurus of Yoga Gurus of India, united and conducted a meeting. They found out which is the right module. It is based on the research papers, not like that. S. Vyasa Yoga University, under the guidance of Dr. Nagarnaji and Dr. Nagendraji, they produced a series of research work and which they conducted how to prevent corona, first part, how to prevent COVID-19. Then if you are infected, how to overcome. Both are two different modules they have prepared. And based on the overall discussion, they came to know, in this situation, we should not stress our system more than a limit. Body should not undergo unnecessary stress. Too much workout, too much anxiety, emotionally depressed or anxiety, all these are harmful to the situation. What you can do, which can reduce your anxiety, with the light exercise, keeping yourself healthy, such modules they have presented for us. So now we need to understand which are the models suggested by them. They suggested one module called Synchronized Global Prayer. If you go to Ministry of Ayush or your Indian Yoga Association website, you will get the sequence of that. Or in our website also we have mentioned it, SGP, Synchronized Global Prayer. It is not a prayer kind of thing. Moreover, it is pranayama, where they suggested two important breathing. With this Shanti Mantra, we conclude. You can do prayer as per your faith. They don't compel you do this, do that. But it happens simultaneously across the globe. All the yoga centers of India and the yoga centers in abroad are connected to Indian Yoga Association. And such centers, at a time it happens morning 8 o'clock and evening 6 o'clock. Maybe slightly people may change it if the global timing is different. So when you do that, there's a huge amount of positive energy generated at a time. That's how it will helpful to the cosmic. Personally, how this module is helpful, I let you know. We know that there are two pranayamas which are mentioned. One is abdominal breathing, deep breathing, or a deep anuloma viloma, or other one is called as Bhramari breathing. See, anuloma viloma is also used for alternative nostril breathing. So here I am mentioning anuloma viloma for the deep abdominal breathing. So different ashram used in a different way. Okay. So abdominal breathing, how it happens? Anybody who practiced yoga, your teacher might have been told you breathe deeply. What is deep breathing? The moment now I tell you deep breathe, what you will do?
Continue.
1 minute. So inhalingly, we expand our abdomen. Exhalingly, we bring it back. So we have to expand our abdomen deeply. Here what happens? We are not breathing through our chest. During deep breathing, chest does not move up and down. Shoulder does not move up and down. Only inhaling our abdomen expands and exhalingly it contracts back. One minute. Other mobile. It's connected. Okay. If my voice is not audible, please let me know. So
Yes,
when you are inhaling, abdomen expand, exhalingly it contracts. What happens during abdominal breathing? During abdominal breathing, the breath will go to the lowermost part of your lungs. If you remember your school days, they have taught you the respiratory, our bags are broader at the end and narrower at the top. So you are not using the narrower portion, you are using the broader portion. So absorption of oxygen is more. Blood is getting more oxygen. And meanwhile, whenever you do abdominal breathing, the number of thoughts in your mind will be under control and anxiety will be reduced. If some disturbance happens around you also, you are not vulnerable to that. You are not worried, means you'll not become panic. That is the strength you establish when you do abdominal breathing. For this, you don't need to sit on a yoga mat alone. Wherever you are, working, listening to a lecturer, traveling in a vehicle, in all the conditions, you have to inhalingly expand your abdomen, exhalingly you need to contract it. Inhale, expand your stomach, exhalingly contract. Breath is not going to stomach, rather than that, breath is going to the lowermost part of your lung. This is first important breathing. Everyone have to practice at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes in a day. Second important breathing what they suggested is Bhramari Pranayama, which you all will be knowing. Bhramara means male bee, Bhramari means female bee. With inhalation, when you are inhaling, you are taking a low pitch humming sound, makar sound, that's called Bhramara breathing. Yogis will do that. For the basic practitioner, we don't suggest Bhramara breathing. With the exhalation, the same makara or humming sound you produce, like the slow pitch humming sound with the exhalation is called Bhramari breathing. So in this module, what they suggest, first to do prayer as per your faith. Start with the abdominal breathing, make yourself comfortable, then start 27 times Bhramari. What are the mudras? Mudras means that symbol which we adapt in the hands. So that is mudras for Bhramari. There are first important mudra. One is called Shanmukhi mudra. For Shanmukhi mudra, you have to keep your both the thumbs inside the ear, forefinger and middle finger on the eyes, ring finger beside the nose and small finger beside the mouth. I repeat, thumb inside the ear, forefinger and middle finger on the eyes, ring finger beside the nose and small finger beside the mouth. In this way. When you keep like this, your focus is so much inward, you are not distracted. This way. You should not keep it on your nose and close it just beside the nose. Don't disturb the nose or don't keep it like this. Be comfortable. It's called Shanmukhi mudra. If this mudra is not comfortable for you, you can just keep your fingers inside the ear and this way. Okay, I have shoulder pain, I'm not comfortable, my arms are paining. If your body posture is not comfortable, adapt Chin Mudra and chant Brahma. Okay, so 27 times, at least once or twice in a day you have to do. Ideal time, Indian Standard Time suggested is 8 o'clock and evening 6 o'clock. This is what they suggested, Indian Yoga Association has suggested. This is about Bhramari Pranayama. 2 pranayama. After that, you will take a resolution that with all our collective power of peace, we bring over COVID-19. 9 times we say that to ourselves, then we conclude with the Shanti Mantra. This is the model suggested by for this particular situation. So Bhramari, what happens in the Bhramari? You observe that when you practice 27 times of Bhramari Pranayama, you feel an extreme calmness. Any emotional disturbances, any anxieties, or if you are emotionally charged, then you can say that, see that you are calming down, you are comfortable, you are feeling better. So this is how exactly Bhramari said. Anxiety will be reduced, number of thoughts reducing in the mind will be reduced, will come to the balance, and you establish an extreme, clean, calm, pure, settled mind. All pranayamas have its own beautiful impact. So these two you can experience. Now, what are the physical benefits of Brahmari? When Brahmari you are chanting, you can feel that above throat there is a vibration. Right? Above throat, head region, this area, Shirohara, will feel a vibration. So our tonsils will become active, potential, to is more effective WBC. All sinus bags will be active. The first level of defense for the corona will be active, energized. That is how Brahmari is helpful. So remember, abdominal breathing 5 to 10 times, Brahmari 27 times, take the resolution and conclude with the Shanti Mantra. It's a simple module suggested for COVID-19 situation. So very importantly, keep your system calm. Don't give so much stress. If you already have a set of physical activity, don't strain yourself. With the too much burning of your fat, don't have that place. Keep yourself healthy, fit, so that body can fight against the disease. And one more thing which I wish to say here. Why our body fails? Okay. Our body is nothing but, it's a reflection of our mind. What we are thinking from last couple of years, from bundle of years, whatever you lived on this earth, how collectively you lived, what is the gross thinking will be reflected as your body. Body is not just formed by your exercise or food. Body, see, people who are having engaged with the sattvic thought will have a bright eyes, sharpened features of the face, nose, everything sharpened. It's not genealogy alone. It is not the chromosome alone. It is the environment also influences. My father have this kind of eye, my mother have this kind of nose, so I will be having like this. Not like that. Let it be, but provided with, if you can improve your way of thinking, if you improve your focus, what you are engaging yourself, then definitely your features will be more better, more scholarly than your other family members. So always remember that body is a reflection of our mind. Now I want to say a concept, we call it as viparya. We are being taught that certain things are wrong to the body, certain things are useful. So example, you know that all the soft drinks, that whatever you are drinking, that are orange flavor or lemon flavor or cola flavor. So all these are soft drinks, right? These soft drinks are harmful to the body. All the biology teachers will be doing it. If you keep onion cell, the onion peels, 5 to 10 minutes in any of this soft drink, you can see chromosomes will undergo aberration causing the cancerous growth within 10 minutes. When we are ingesting this, we are ingesting this so many years, do you think our soft stomach lining will be sustaining it? So we are knowing that it is harmful to the health. It is demonstrated that it is cancerous. Still we love that. We enjoy drinking it. Something harmful which can destruct you, still it is actually, you're enjoying it. Right? So, same way, your immune cells, what I told you, defense cells, they know that corona is harmful. If corona is invaded to the body, that can cause death to themselves, right? So in spite of this, they get attracted to that. This is, see, what happens in the mind will be reflected in our body in each and every cell. Body is a reflection of mind. How you live, what you engage with, that will be reflected as your body. Today, if your body you are not comfortable with, you are not thinking that it should be better something, improve your thought process, improve your lifestyle, be aware what you are eating, when you are eating, when you are sleeping. Try to follow the natural cycle. We are supposed to follow the natural cycle. So, what is natural cycle? Natural cycle, see how nature lives. By observing the nature, our ancient sages understood that morning 4 o'clock to till 8 o'clock, it is Satvika Samaya. Before sunrise, a couple of hours, and before after sunrise, 2 hours before, 2 hours later. So it is a Satvika Samaya. Any prayer, meditation, pranayama, asana practice, studying, memorizing, all this will be easily happening that way. Okay. 8 o'clock to next 7 o'clock is called Rajasic period. which is meant for day-to-day activity. So your life-related activity you're supposed to do. What is the activity you're studying? If you're a faculty, you have to focus on your teaching. So every animal, every plant, every human have their own activity. Plant will do photosynthesis. Animals will do their respective. They move from resting ground to feeding ground. So they engage themselves in the daytime. That's called Rajasic period. When it comes to the evening, the animals will move back to the resting ground. And plant will cut off their photosynthesis, other activity, they will just relax. Same way, we are supposed to come for the relaxing mode. So, who is keeping the audio on? Who is keeping the audio on? Ma'am, can you check that who is keeping the audio on? You can note that.
Sure, ma'am.
So whatever the damage is happening, that will be actually repaired and the body will be prepared for the next day. That is all the importance of the sleep. Every sleep.
Chaitanya ma'am, please unmute your audio. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So this is how actually body is helpful. So we have to sleep in the night. That too not on the reclining thing or a reclining seat. You have to lie down parallel to the ground. So ideally, sleep should finish before 4 o'clock. After that, you are lying down on the ground or on the bed. You are lying down on the sattvic period. You are missing the beautiful energetic period of the day. So people, what they do, doctor said 6 hours we have to sleep. They calculate 2 o'clock if I sleep, I can sleep till 8 o'clock. This is how if you 2 o'clock if you're sleeping, you got only 2 hours of tamasic period. Rest all your sleep was during sattvic time. So body will start moving away from the nature. Nature is very particular. Who are not aligned to her, she'll throw them away. You start developing disease, disorder, you die. Nature is very particular. So try to sleep during sattvic time. At least by 10, 10:30, cut down your activity and lie down on your bed so that you can have at least 4 to 6 hours of tamasic hours of sleep, which is very important for your survival. And morning, engage at least 2 hours of sattvic activity. Rest anyhow you are engaging. Everybody is high in rajas. Okay. But or maybe tamas, but high in sattva is not there. Usually sattvic also. So in yoga, we don't classify yes or no, positive or negative, not like that. We call them three ways: sattvika, rajasika, tamasika. Sattva means holistic, rajas means activity related, tamasic means rest or idleness. If tamas increases, laziness will come. If rajas increases, hyperactivity. They don't know vata prakriti. They can't sit in a place. They want to do this. This is all vata prakriti. There's nothing but rajas. Sattva means a poised situation. If they want, they can be potentially active. If they want, they can cut down that. So in a vehicle, two things we see: accelerator and brake. Acceleration can be enjoyed only if the brake is working. If the brake is not there, nobody will enjoy the acceleration of the car or vehicle. Same way, we should know how to be active and when to come down. So both acceleration and brake should be working. Where yoga, all asana, your pranayama, meditations, kriya, shavasana and cyclic meditation, they all help you to realign yourself back to the light. Yoga asana itself is not everything. People are doing extreme asana and they have done this yoga championship also. In the yoga championship, what they are doing extreme asanas. They are not yogis. They're asana expert, or they have mastery over their muscles and bones, and they're not yogis. I'm clearly telling they're not yogis. If somebody have to claim anything against me, please let me know, because it's not yoga. Person who is aligned to the natural schedule, who is developing sattva. Sattva means how you have to grow spiritually. Your physique growing, becoming healthy, you're emotionally stable, you are intellectually sharp is not enough. You have to grow spiritually. We are born to grow spiritually. How you notice you have grown spiritually or not? There are a few things we call it as fruit of spirit. Spirit is nothing but Atma, not Deva, Bhuta and all, it's Atma. The spirit or soul, and some Indians use it as a soul also. If your spirit is growing, you feel the attributes like love, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. This should be there. So you should, whenever you come into a spiritual person's contact, you will experience love, faithfulness, and gentleness, kindness, and self-control. And self-control. So these attributes, if it is not seen in any yoga teacher also, these attributes are not seen, then they are not called as spiritual people. So we should be spiritual. We are born to grow spiritual. So yoga is helpful in this way. For a student, see this Brahmari Pranayama which I mentioned, it is also, you can try that before examination time. That executive tension is there, tomorrow exam I have to do this. So this executive tension is very harmful to the body. So for the long term, if you are experiencing executive tension, you will become sick. So Brahmari Pranayama reduces it. Then one more thing, relaxation. So proper food. What you need? Proper food which grows in your geography. Not that cauliflower or carrot grown somewhere. Kashmiri apple is good in Kashmir. So we should suppose to eat what grows in our South Canada, what grows around Udupi, which is growing around you. Then you will come in harmony with your Prakriti. You are eating something which is grown in Germany will not make you to align with the Prakriti around you. So try to have a healthy food grown around you and try to schedule your day as per Sattvika, Rajasika, Tamasika time. Keep a basic 15 minutes of breathing practice or relaxation practice. Set of Sukshma Vayama or Asana, not too many, only 3 or 4. Doing the asana very quickly is not the excellence. Doing the asana very slowly, without getting tired, that is achievement. Trikonasana means people will bend, right? Just bending is not Trikonasana. Do it very slowly. Then you see that the same one asana can make you sweat. You don't need 10 asana to sweat. One asana is enough to make you to sweat. That is called as yoga. You are having that stability, establishing that calmness. So ideally, keep a time aside. Do basic practice of Anuloma Viloma and Brahmari. Very useful for the situation. Brahmari, every student can practice before examination. You can see the calmness. Whatever you learn, you will not forget. Very calmly you will execute. If you are attending MCQ, you are in a hurry to read, right? You will misunderstand the question. So that can be avoided through the Brahmari Pranayama. You will be calm, you will have the patience to read the questions and attend properly. So this is how yoga is helpful, and you should do proper relaxation. Proper relaxation. We are thinking that you are relaxed. For example, a cricketer, a fast bowler, he always uses his right hand or right hand palm, right, for the bowling. So when he is lying down, you observe that whether he relaxed comfortably. No? They are holding these muscles even when they are lying down or sleeping. So Shavasana, what's suggested in yoga, is a conscious relaxation. You are not in subconscious sleep. You are in a conscious mind, but you are relaxing each and every muscles of the body to experience a deeper relaxation. This is how yoga help a person to evolve from their basic style, layman style, to a superior scholarly human being. So, as I told you, scientifically, there are 2002 there are research paper which have published that the low humming sound breathing increases the antioxidants like nitric acid and all, which is produced during this ethmoid and maxillary sinus. See, scientifically it is proved. So, knowing all this, it is very important to keep that. Knowing yoga is not sufficient. Knowing yoga is not sufficient. You have to practice it every day, experience it every day. See, in Quora, there was a statement from a Chinese person, which I mentioned in all my classes, that he says that if you have done a lot of punya, it is being told in all our MSc classes, students will be MSc yoga, or SYS student will be knowing it, or Professor Salvis mentioned this. If you have done lot of punya, you will take birth in Bharata. To take this birth in this country, we should have a lot of blessing. So we are all born here, and it is a land of spirituality. So I'm not telling leave your home and take sannyasa. Live as a better human being, where people should experience goodness from you. So that can be possible through this yoga pathway. And find a right resource for yourself. Don't simply join some yoga classes going on. They are doing Surya Namaskara and 12 postures. Don't join like that. First check what is your body condition. If the teacher is not checking why you have come, what you want to learn, what you want to achieve through the yoga, then don't join that class. If the teacher is not that connected, okay. It is very important for every teacher to understand why the student has come, what he wants to achieve through yoga. Teach only that relevant asana and pranayama, not everything. See, Dronacharya had such a multiple different students in the class. But he taught different things for different people. For Bhima and Duryodhana, he opted Gadayuddha. He understood these people will not understand any Dhanurudhya, right? So he taught Gadayuddha for Bhima and Duryodhana. Bhima and Duryodhana, he taught Gadayuddha. For Arjuna, he opted Bilvidya. Because you need a lot of concentration, focus. When we check the focus, you might have heard of the story. One fellow said the bird is sitting on the branch is right, the third branch, fourth branch. Other fellow said the bird is sitting on, I can see the bird. Only Arjuna saw the eye of the bird. Teacher asked them to see eye of the bird. People saw the entire tree. People saw the entire branch. People saw the entire bird. Only Arjuna saw that only the eye of the bird. That's the focus. In it, so it's very important. So he taught Bilvidya to him. So a teacher should not teach everything to everyone. Education can be dangerous. One Mahe Vice Chancellor's talk when I was teaching in MGM, that time he gave this example. Education can be dangerous. Education can be useful. If you are educating a right person, you will get a scholar. If you are educating a fool, you can see that some rank holders are very good rank, but no common sense. No common sense at all, no basic health also. That means you educated a fool. He is not using the education at all for his lifespan. He said, educating some people become dangerous. You will get Naxalites. You educated a wrong person. He know how to make the explosive material, but he will make the bomb, other things sitting in the forest. Forest is not the place for making the explosive things. Forest is meant for something else. So they educated a wrong person. So education, if the right person only will give the scholar. Otherwise, what happens? From June to March, you are listening to the lecturer. All the information given by your teacher should transform into knowledge. For that, the blessing of the teacher and the blessing of this God, what you call it as universal consciousness, is very important. Otherwise, information will remain as an information only. It will not transform into knowledge. It will not transform into wisdom. Very important. The information, what information you will get in YouTube, everywhere. YouTube, Google, all these places, you're getting from textbooks. But that information should become knowledge, wisdom. For all these things, yoga is an aptitude. Somebody. Okay. So that's how. So I'll try to conclude here. So act of the right teacher. Okay. Of the right teacher for yourself, who can teach you what you want to learn, who can make you a better human being with the regular practice, then aim to grow spiritually. It is not sufficient to grow physically, emotionally, intellectually. You should grow spiritually. With that talk, So basic practice, again I remind, do Brahmari 27 times in a day. And our work is very important. Our parents have and teachers have contributed a lot to become this life. So let it not go waste with the disease called corona, right? Corona virus. It is meant for better purpose, to serve this earth and nation. So be a very beautiful human being, live a very joyful, happy, healthier life. Saying that, I'll conclude my talk here. Once again, I thank the college, Mahavira College, and the principal and all the people who facilitated this program. With the 5 minutes we can spend for discussion. If anybody have a question, you can ask. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
I would like to request all the participants who have questions to drop their questions in the chat box. Please drop your questions in the chat box. Ma'am, we have a question. How we control emotional stress through yoga? How can we control emotional stress through yoga?
Okay, very recent example that Sushant put. In that case also, what happened? We don't know the tool or the technique to come over this. That is the problem. We don't know the tool. So yoga provide you some breathing exercise and relaxation technique. Okay, which you yourself normally cannot do that. One minute. Normally, we cannot do that. That it is possible with your power, with normal power, it is not possible to suppress your thinking or reduce your emotional anxiety. But with the yogic practice like pranayama, meditation, especially that cyclic meditation done by Asana, all these will help you to overcome, strengthen you, provide you strength to overcome this. You need to practice pranayama. If you can't do by yourself, that's how yoga is.
Thank you, ma'am. We have one more question. Whether it is better to do an asana first or pranayama?
Normally, as per the ancient practice, we start with the prayer. Sukshma vyayama means warm up, just to increase the circulation. Then asana, standing asana, sitting asana, lying down asana. Then pranayama. Then meditation, then relaxation. This is how major all ashrams do it. But some ashram like the Shivananda Yoga Ashram, where after prayer they start with the pranayama, then they come for the warm up, Surya Namaskara, then asana, they start with the lying down asana, sitting and standing. That's exception. So other than that, normally we do asana first, then pranayama. What I suggest is, if you want to experiment more asana, do it in the morning. If you want to experiment more pranayama, do it in the evening. Morning also you can do, but evening is ideal. You will experience, because evening your emotional accumulation is there. That will settle down very fast. You can observe that after pranayama.
Thank you, ma'am. And we have one more question. Can we mix yogasana with other exercises for daily fitness?
Very careful. Do one thing for yourself. If you are doing other exercise, warm up, already you are stretching. What is the purpose of doing this? Asana, like, what is the purpose of your doing asana? Very important. People are see and never learn by yourself from YouTube and all. Some people will ask me to share the videos of asana. I don't do that because whom I am sending, what is his health condition, I don't know. It's very important. Before we take yoga classes, we check that how much water they take, how much time urination, what is your, how many times you pass motion in a day, what time you take breakfast, and everything, all these things we get teach an asana for them. Randomly teaching asana is a crime. I can say that every yoga teacher also, randomly you are teaching yoga asana and somebody is a crime. Because asanas are designed for a deeper evolution. So somebody joined here for a weight loss session. It happened a couple of times with us. They started losing the weight. Immediately they want to lose faster. They started doing walking, gym. Along with that, they're coming for our asana class. See, this is then later, within no time, their body damage, they developed a severe leg pain and hip pain. And at the end of the day, blame the teacher. After starting yoga, we compromise to this disease. This will happen. Don't do combinations.
Ma'am, you're not audible. Ma'am, Chetna ma'am, you're not audible.
Okay, can you hear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Chetna ma'am, are you with us? Participants, please bear with us for some minutes. The resource person will be connecting soon.
Ma'am, ಕೇಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ? Can you hear me? I think it got disconnected. Hope you can hear me. ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ನಮಗ್
Yes,
ಕೇಳ್ತಾ
you're
ಇದೆ.
Yes, ma'am. You're audible, ma'am.
Okay. See, what I was telling that question ಇತ್ತ ಬೇರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು? ಜಿಮ್. So we should not be doing it together. So ಯಾವ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you are damaging yourself. See, people who need yoga for arthritis, yoga for back pain, yoga to increase concentration, yoga to reduce their BP or overcome diabetic or to resolve the reproductive fertility related issues, all are different syllabus. If you're joining a common general session where teacher don't know why you have come, you are harming your body. You're damaging your body and other breathing exercise. So be cautious why you are doing right. Learn from right resource and don't overlap these things. The difference between the gym exercise and yoga is gym you are working on your muscle physics without focusing on yourself. You're listening to the music outside and you're working. In yoga, the moment you do asana, you are breathing, your focus is inside. With that, you are practicing. Your oneness with the body and mind is there. So huge difference is there between that. You can't be comparing them, and don't do over exertion. At least if you want gym, do it at one time and practice asana different time. No need to sweat the bow with both the weights. Harmful. It will affect your immune system directly.
Thank you, ma'am. We have one more question. How to develop
Okay.
kids' interest in yoga right from the childhood? How to develop kids' interest in yoga right from childhood?
Very good question. Okay. See, there are few things are there which I wish to say. Up to the age of 8, the development of the child is very important. In our school days, you might be learned that we have different hormone glands. We call it as endocrine system. In that, all the glands falls like thyroid, adrenals, or reproductive glands. All this falls under pituitary. But yoga also say that the moreover pituitary, pineal gland, one more gland is there. Pineal gland have mastery over all the things. Science says that pituitary is the major gland which is controlling rest, but pineal gland is the more powerful gland than that. This development of the pineal gland is possible only before the age of 9. So if your pineal gland is developed, you will be totally different sattvic individual than that. Now see, the temptation is there not to eat whatever you wish to eat, or for example, your sexual distractions. All this is not under your control. You're flowing as such, you're facing the situation. You're flown. If you see some beautiful thing, you'll fall into that. So your senses are following what you're seeing. But if the pineal gland is developed, your senses will be in your control. If you wish to follow, you can follow. If you wish to come back, you can come back. So this mastery can be achieved in that time. That is why introduce yoga after the age of 5, before the age of 8, so that early sattvic development can happen in their body. Okay, that is how before the age of 9 or after the age of 5, not in a very young 2-3 years. We can give for the small children. You can introduce like a fun activities of yoga. Nowadays, the development of the child is very early. Somebody was commenting that the preschool we should not conduct online classes. Let us understand what was our age of 5 and 6 and now I am 40. I'm in my 40th age. How I lived in my 5 years old or 6 years old. That is not the condition of the present child. Present day children are developing very fast. At the age of 3.5 itself, they have a lot of senses and develop. So from 3.5 to 4 age, you can start it before the age of 9 started. Don't start it very late. Later also it will work. I'm not telling it's not working. It's a hard journey. It's an easy journey. In the class also teachers might have observed that some are very beautifully already aligned for listening. Some struggle to listen because they lived in a different culture. That can be changed if you introduce yoga at a very young age. I started in the age of 9 and it depends. It's early is good. Ma'am, any other question?
Yes, ma'am. How to control BP through yoga?
See, once again, I want to repeat, yoga will not work like a pill. Like you take the pill, you are overcome the disease, right? It is a lifestyle. It's a kind of way of living. Okay, from your food, from your sleep cycle, from your daily practice session, the way you live collectively makes you. So for the BP, there is a emotional stress you are already facing. The person who is having BP means they are already facing emotional stress. It can be overcome through technique like cyclic meditation. That's it. We give it for all our participants. It's a deeper relaxation method. Ajit, 1 minute. Huh? Attend this one. So there's a deeper relaxation technique and pranayama. I suggested you Anulama Vilama, that Nadi Shodhana, alternative nostril breathing, and Brahmari can be useful. Bastrika is there, no? That one like fast, vigorous breathing. That is not suggested for BP people. Don't do any rigorous activity. Your body is already under some stress. So sudden rush of the blood is harmful. Don't do Bastrika when you have BP. You can do slight, mild Brahmaris and Anuloma Vilomas and Nadi Shodhana Pranayama and relax. Relaxing, if you are not able to relax when you sleep properly, take oil bath once in a week. Apply some oil. If you go to Ayurveda doctor, based on whether your vata, pitta, kapha, based on that they prescribe you one oil. Apply that oil. After that,
D.Ed, B.Ed is required.
hello. So then,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
take bath. Oil strike you to calm down. When your mind is not calming down, when your body is not calming down, oil will help you to calm down. This is the Ayurvedic method. In yoga, we suggest relaxation, cyclic meditation, and pranayamas for the BP people. You can overcome within 3 months. You can show the changes to the people.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, we have a last question. Is it harmful doing yoga in the late morning? Is it harmful doing yoga in the
Yeah,
late morning?
very much. See, this is very important. Don't do any yoga, asana or practice after 7 o'clock or after 7:30. You can listen to the lecturers like talks of Sadhguru or some very good Guru's speech or pravachanas can be heard. But doing asana practice or pranayama after 7 o'clock is not suggested. 4:30 morning onwards till the sunset you can practice, but not in the noon time. Extreme noon you are rajasic, like 12 o'clock to till 3:30 you will be rajasic. Don't practice between 12 to 3:30. Avoid practicing in the night. So nowadays some sports shops have come, like I've seen that. There's Decathlon kind of shops have come. People are buying the sports goods and they are doing cycling in the midnight at 9 o'clock. I saw in the Mangalore coaching somewhere. 9:30 that fellow is going in the cycle. What a meaningless job he is doing. Huh? Already body is under rajas. You are increasing the rajas. And when he will sleep? 9:30 if he is doing cycling on the road, when he will sleep? So it's all nonsense we are trying on ourselves. Try to do this practice just before 6:30 or sunset happens. Before 7 o'clock, you should finish your yogic practice. Morning 4:30 onwards, you can start. Pattabhi Jois used to get up at 3:30 a.m. and he finished his self practice and sit in the class around 5 o'clock waiting for the student. Understand? So we can do it in the morning hour. So, but not on the late night. Late night is not suggested. Night means settle down. See, every animal comes back from the feeding ground to resting ground around 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm not talking nocturnals, normally. If the animals not had food from a week only, they wander around. Otherwise, they settle down. They all will sleep. They all will get up without alarm. Any alarm, mobile alarm, other alarm not required. We are the only so-called intellectual beings. When the morning happens, you pull the curtain, you want to sleep. When the night is pervading, all daylight, 12 hours sunlight is given, you don't want to work. You will work, you will be very active in the evening. Night 12 o'clock is the high time you want to know in Facebook, you want to learn through Facebook and WhatsApp and all the nonsense. Night you switch on the artificial light and you sit like this, backbone straight. Other than that, we should go back to your natural state. Utilize your all the activity, daytime for the activity. Night is meant for sleeping, resting, calm down, relax. No problem.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this useful session. Now I would like to request Mr. Raj Prasad, Physical Education Director of Sri Mavira College, to render the vote of thanks.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
Madam. Good morning, everybody. It is my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the IQAC and the Department of Physical Education of our college. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Madam Chetana Bedekar for her wonderful deliberation on yoga. Thank you, Madam. I take this opportunity to thank the members of management of college, principals, staff members, and the students of both our degree and PU colleges, IQAC convener, and all the members of the participants of take part in this national webinar. A word of appreciation is due to Mr. Ajit Kumar, the world students of our college, for making all the necessary arrangements to organize this webinar. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you to all the participants here.
I think they're asking for feedback sheet.
Yes, ma'am. Is there any feedback sheet from your organization?
Yeah, we can provide you feedback sheet. All the participants, we can provide the feedback sheet.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
It's not how to be.
So when will you upload the feedback sheet?
I think Ajit will contact you now itself.
Oh.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.